Welcome back for the latest in business news. We are joined by Mike Eppel. Mech Eppel, that's your new name. Mech Eppel. Kind of rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? Good morning.
Why not? I've heard worse.
How are you, Mike?
I've been called worse. I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Good, good. Reading through your notes here, a lot of people have been critical of what the federal government has been doing when it comes to the wage subsidy or this benefit, saying it doesn't really apply to them. So potentially seeing some good news today.
Well, how do you get everybody, I suppose, into the program when you've got so many diverse sectors of the economy being crushed under the weight of the pandemic? So the criticism initially, Melanie, for the wage subsidy, which was really the second bailout that the Trudeau government announced and is still working its way through the parliamentary process, so it's not even in effect yet, but it's worth about $71 billion. You know, it's supposed to pay for about 75% of an employee's wages to help support small businesses, to keep people on the payroll. Well, contract workers, gig economy, volunteers in emergency services, for example, all of these weren't covered. So the talk this morning is that when we hear from the Prime Minister later this morning, there's going to be additional measures in the subsidy program. Some of the critics had contended, you know, upwards of 200,000 people may have not been eligible for the initial stimulus plan. So again, they're trying to work all of this through. We had the day 2 of the emergency response benefit coming through yesterday. Applications on the rise there, but it's a slow process, and people need the money today, if not yesterday.
Indeed.
So that's part of the challenges that the government's certainly facing.
You got it. And of course, we'll follow that Trudeau announcement a little bit later on this morning. Meanwhile, let's turn our eyes to Alberta. We were talking a little bit earlier, hearing from Jason Kenney, unfortunately seeing the numbers when it comes to COVID-19. And you're watching the numbers when it comes to unemployment.
25% is what they're forecasting for unemployment. I mean, we've heard billions of dollars being cut back in the energy sector. That is the key component to Alberta's economy, let's face it. Just yesterday, ExxonMobil cut its spending plans by more than $10 billion worldwide. Their Canadian affiliate is Imperial Oil. Jason Kenney's warning that the price for Canadian oil, which right now is below $4 per barrel, think about that, a premium cup of coffee is worth more than a barrel of Canadian crude, it could turn negative on the market, where we actually have to pay companies to buy it for refining purposes. There's too much oil. No one's driving. The price has collapsed. Tomorrow we'll hear from OPEC. Maybe they'll announce a production cut to stabilize things. Who knows? But in the near term, this is crushing parts of Western Canada's economy, and the ripple effect on Canada's economy in its entirety is it cannot be underestimated.
Indeed. I wanted to get one more story in there. We've got time for one. Jack Dorsey, who's the Twitter founder. Big money here when it comes to the pandemic. What are we looking at?
He's donating $1 billion of his net worth, which is about $4 billion, $1 billion or a quarter of his total net worth to pandemic research through some funds that are just working to collect cash, for all intents and purposes, for research, for global support. He's the founder of Twitter, founder of Square, the payment processing technology, and has been very much philanthropic and is doing more of the same. And it's going to be interesting to see if others in that wealth spectrum do more of this going forward. Of course, the Gates Foundation has been a long time supporter of global causes. You know, you've got a lot of big money out there, and I think that might be the next trend where we see some of this going toward pandemic research.
Indeed, and you've seen a lot of celebrities also donating their time and raising funds, too. All right, Mike, as always, appreciate your time. Thank you. Have a great Wednesday. There's your reminder. Today is Wednesday.
Thank you. Thank you very much.